Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We're still... I just realized that I'm not going to be able to grab a chunk of the United States because we still have a truce with them. Let's play a... There we go. Let's play an upbeat track. I'm going to do some... I think I'm going to do a quick grab at some autonomy before we get going here. Go ahead and get started with that. Beautiful. We're good to go with Oman. What other protectorates do we have? We have the Ionians and the Mosquito Kingdom. I'm going to reduce the Mosquito Kingdom's autonomy as well. They will accept. Very good. And they've accepted. Alright. Both of our M kingdoms are dominions now. So let's continue with our expansion in East Africa. Go ahead and get started with that. I think we're going to use the Army of the Cape of Good Hope, same as we've been doing. And we'll see if anyone decides to get involved. 10th British Army, you don't need to exist. You can be part of a different British Army. Still skirting about at Infamy 19, which is not bad. And we're almost done with building out these naval bases, so I think the next... I think I am going to leave these iron mines and logging camp. I think I'm going to leave the Guatemala expansion for now, but I'm going to shunt the Bahamas, Bermuda, and West Indies one down to the bottom, just so that I can get this land expansion going. And then I think we'll fix up another one of these navies. Portsmouth Station still, those are getting built. Plymouth Station's good to go. Sheerness Station, those are getting built. Rubber in the Windward Coast, very good. Same thing as I always do with that Rubber Rush event. Mediterranean Station, we're going to do the same thing. And we're going to build ironclads in Malta. Sure hope that's where those are located at. It's fine. No consequence to making these changes. We got another rubber event. Rubber Rush event in British Ivory Coast. I'm surprised we haven't seen an Italian unification. I'm genuinely curious about why things have gone so sort of chill there. I'm going to start improving relations with the Republic of San Marco. In fact, we'll improve relations with the Papal States, and the two Sicilies we're good to go with. Another Rubber Rush event in Equatoria. That's fine, so these are just going to happen all the time now. And there's the Steam Donkey. So that's wonderful. That's an automator event for our mines. And that's really all that we need to concern ourselves with. But we are actually short on labor here in the home territories here, so it might actually be good to start working on that. So this uses transport. That's really going to raise the price of transport, but I think it'll be worth it. Let's go ahead and do this. Hold on. So there's the war with Bunyoro popping off. Let's go ahead and set... Can't do these collectively. Alright, so the easier way to do this is through here. So we're just going to automate all of the mines in the home country, in the imperial core. And that's going to allow us to continue to expand. Nope, not Leinster. We're still good to go with Leinster. Continue to expand those industries without a problem. We have sulfur mines doing something different in Togo. Let's go ahead and normalize production methods there. Wait. Have I put mines here on, I have. That was not smart. I wasn't even thinking about that. And I probably did the same in Togo. Now we're good. Alright. So that's iron mines. For coal mines, we'll do the same. And that's going to free up quite a bit of labor. Cool. Lead mines, we also have quite a few of these in the home country. So we'll set those up to be automated. I am going to take a look at how that's impacting I haven't done the ones in Ireland yet, but we'll see. I am going to check out how that's impacting our market here. So it has created a significant increase in the demand for coal, but not too extreme a one. How is the price of transport? It's still quite high in all these zones, but I can set the urban centers in these areas to produce, where are they? Urban centers, I guess, are still in urban, to produce their own transport. And that, oh, interesting. Not at all productive. Curious. Let's see if the private sector has started building more railways. It has not. So we'll go ahead. Oh, we got a new steel production method. Wonderful. Hadn't even been paying attention to that. So this should be pretty well sorted out once that is completed over there. So, Dutch East Indies wants assistance in Tidore. Transfer their subject of Pontianak, if we will back them. You know what, Dutch East Indies? I will accept. So this is the Tidore Liberal Revolt. That'll be fine. We'll go ahead and mobilize the Army of the West Indies to assist with that. And that should not be a problem whatsoever. We'll see how that goes. We are in the midst of our expansion in barracks right now, and then we'll get our projects for the Western colonies going. I'm really happy with the amount of radicals and loyalists we have right now. That's making our politics much easier to manage. We've lost our little legitimacy bonus from crushing the liberal revolution, but interestingly, the Whigs are also market liberals at this point, so I can get a little bit more legitimacy by pulling them into the government. Does that let me do anything interesting? Change of the franchise is not in the cards. Don't want allowed child labor. See how that goes. Cool. Wonderful. That's Uganda. Continued to be taken over. I think we are holding... No, there's still... Some of this territory still counts as Ugandan territory. Or as part of Uganda, rather. We will reset production methods again. We don't need to. Perfect. Probably didn't need to mobilize that second army for over there, but it is what it is. So once this pops off, we'll get a naval invasion ready to go. As all these countries declare neutrality, this area is going to fill up with that stuff. Get myself a nice free puppet over here, which I'm pleased about. Close that out. 2 arms. Tidore is in default. Well, it is what it is. Alright, so we'll grab the Sheerness Station fleet. We'll plan a naval invasion using the Army of the West Indies. Army of Canada needs a leader. Let's go ahead and grab this guy. 10th British Army once again exists. Throw them into the Army of the Cape of Good Hope. Very good. So that shouldn't be long whatsoever. It's going to take a while for my fleet to get there, but that's not going to be a tragedy. We also have a British fleet that we don't need. Of 1 frigate. That'll go to the Sheerness Station fleet without a problem. Cool. Right, so for construction, we're going to go through a long construction project. Artillery foundry is being built in Uganda. We can pull that up to the top. So that gives us plenty to worry about from a construction perspective for now. Investment pool is still full, but could definitely increase the size of our construction industry. I'm tempted to liberalize the franchise. The Industrialists would be unhappy about that, but we'll leave it for now. Everyone's pleased with the government as it is. Dutch East Indies sides with the Netherlands against a different revolt. Very good. Now, have we gotten... Yes, we've already gotten Pontianak as our puppet. So that's wonderful. I'm just going to quickly improve relations here. They'll owe us an obligation. I don't desire an obligation from you, Netherlands. And there's reinforced concrete. That'll significantly increase our construction speed, which I'm extremely pleased about. And there's rubber in East Borneo. That's wonderful. So, I've got rubber in my market. Who wants rubber? Nobody. We got gold depleted in Guyana. This is the same event as we saw before. I'm going to go unfortunate. That will in turn allow us to produce some additional gold mines, or some gold mines, really. I'm just going to queue that all the way up to the top because gold mines are rad. We also have another duel. Do I care if these guys die? Harvey Bruce, a jingoist agitator as part of the Industrialists. I'm going to let them fight, and he might die. Hey, got him. Don't need a jingoist agitator. I lost some legitimacy because my P-Light party leader is a positivist, but that could work for us. In fact, actually, I'm going to go ahead and switch to Technocracy. We're doing it. We're going to see how that goes. This will be interesting. Having a positivist in command of things over among the Industrialists will be very, very interesting. Well, that was a very fast invasion on account of the enemy not having any armies. We got another Trucial revolt, so we'll send the Army of the Cape of Good Hope there to fight that out. All right, we're sitting pretty at this point. Technocracy's fun. I've always enjoyed the idea of running a technocratic Britain. Obviously, the intelligentsia are not thrilled about it, but it's interesting. Oh, interesting. The landed gentry and the Anglican Church want to preserve wealth voting, which is really interesting. This is causing quite a bit of radicalism, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see if my desire to switch to technocracy tears the country in two, or merely, okay, we do have transportation shortages, kind of all throughout. Oh, here we go. That's where I'm... Alright, so, get you a commander. Sickly. Reduced health, but not reduced anything else. You're in. And we'll promote you. You sleep. You can get this guy. Alright, little by little. Rubber barons, local authorities, and elements of the Anglican Church are divided on the best direction to shape the Amazonian peoples of British Guiana. Every argument, however, is rooted in self-interest. Both her husband and her son's hands were struck red. Priests and nuns had brought canes upon the boy for dancing in the halls and reciting old stories. The patron's enforcers believed the man had adulterated the rubber he tapped. If the men of the lash did not work them to death, she thought, the men of the single God would drive their souls to death. Education is a distraction. Their hands are for labor, not writing. This increases radicals from discrimination, increases rubber plantations throughput, and angers the Anglican Church. Or we should make... we should make Britishes of them yet. Ah, that's wonderful. Increased education access, assimilation, and slightly reduced radicals from discrimination. I'm going to go with the second one because that's really funny. They're going to be Britishes. The people of Guyana are going to be Britishes, I say. Ah, this is very funny. Rubber discovered in Volta. Cool. Another rubber rush. I'm going to do the same thing I've been doing. I basically control the world's entire rubber supply at this point. I am, by myself, a huge rubber cartel. I got a lot of rubber. I have a colony working here. Ah, that's right. It's the split state area. Bunch of people declare neutral in our play here. Another rubber in Kenya. Get that annex play completed. Wonderful. And once this war gets done, we can go after some more colonial territory. Right, I was setting up some extra railways in the home country, so let's go ahead and build them. 2 arms. 2 here. I'm just going to build 2 across the board. And I'm hoping that's going to... It's going to take forever. But it is going to hopefully increase our overall effectiveness. I'm going to spread these out between the fisheries that we're building in the Caribbean. This could be a click and drag system, but it is not. I think they added the click and drag system in Hearts of Iron 4, but they chose not to do that in Vicky 3. I don't exactly know why, but it is what it is. Alright, predictably the Trucial revolt has been crushed pretty quickly. We're going to station the Army of the Cape of Good Hope in the Tanzania HQ for now. Perfect. Public meltdown. Following a series of poor business decisions, Ruarid Lennox has taken to lashing out against his detractors in the tabloids. These screeds have served to destroy his public reputation, damage support for technocracy. Low passions be praised in this theater of the damned, an era of unenlightened barbarism and puritanical populism. Only the truly mad could ever reject the benevolent rule of the enlightened few. Damned lost sheep, I name you all. Perhaps you should remain there, while I and my fellows would reap the benefits of a matrix so utopian that all would quake beneath its magnificence, and you will beg to be part of it then. Mark my words, gentlemen, we're going to Mars! A public bailout will resolve the matter. This costs us a bunch of money and reduces enactment chance. Is he our guy? He's our guy. Oh, that's not great. Disgraceful behavior, this would be even worse. But it would slow it down. Or have him committed to the asylum. This reduces enactment chance and he dies. Well, I can't afford for him to die because he's the only guy I've got who wants technocracy. So we'll do a public bailout. See? Technocracy. Rational rule. Oh, perfect. Just perfect. We also have a movement for migration controls. Not a lot of people support that, but it is something we could do. We got plenty of cash in our gold reserves, so I'm not really worried about our finances right now. There's more rubber in Gambia. And we've got a Christian party. Interesting. So the Tories are out, and now we have a Christian party centered around the devout, which is interesting. This guy's a Democrat. Neat. France is going after the Crew uprising. I should be pretty close to... Yeah, I'm pretty close to 0 infamy. So I think once this war is done, we're going to go after Benin. This will be 17.5 infamy. And we're basically ready. So let's do it. Conquer states. We'll go ahead and mobilize the Army of the Cape of Good Hope. We'll place them on the front. They can get there. We'll go ahead and mobilize the Army of the Mediterranean. They can get there. And we've unlocked the Monitor, which is wonderful. So, we can go ahead and try... I'm going to wait until the end of the war and see if that helps our whole situation involving the naval upgrades. I also want to keep an eye on this because I don't want anyone stepping in my way here for this. Benin actually does have something of a real army. Not a great one, but not nothing either. We'll go ahead and cease to damage relations at this point because that's not going to matter for much longer at all. We are below that golden 25 infamy, so we'll keep on trucking forward with that. Again, I'm going to watch this closely. We'll see if my movement towards technocracy creates any interesting events. I'm going to improve relations with Mexico. Alright, and armies have deployed to fronts, or nearly deployed. Backroom dealings exposed, another stall event. Prominent members of the Industrialists, outspoken supporters of technocracy, and close allies of Ruarid Lennox have been exposed in a corruption scandal, having exchanged political favors for personal gifts. One aid was all it took, one boy squeezing acne from his face in the right place at the right time, to overhear the howling laughter, smell of the rich tobacco blend, and spot Ruarig Lennox's new golden cufflinks. One honest fellow's word to the right ears, and it was all uncovered. So, such is the nature of politics. Or throw them to the wolves who must clean up this mess. Or we can derive some benefit from participating ourselves. The first one gives him a big popularity penalty and reduces enactment success chance. The second one gives us a bureaucracy penalty and an enactment success chance penalty, but a smaller one. I'm going to go with the second one. That has actually goofed up our bureaucracy somewhat, so let's go ahead and build some more government admin. We actually do have labor available in the home country again, just a bit. So let's go ahead and build 5 levels in the home countries and 5 in the Midlands. The home counties, rather, and 5 in the Midlands. I'm going to tick 2 of each of these up to the top, and then we'll get the rest going. I'm going to put them at the bottom of these sets of railways, this original set of railways, and then we'll be able to get everything we desire. No one has moved in to assist in this situation, so Benin is going to be ours. Sitting pretty at 21.5 infamy at the moment, so we'll go ahead with this. 2 arms. After that, I think our next big target is... we actually don't need to cut France off here at this point any longer, because we've pretty much got all of the territory that we were racing them towards. So I'm actually feeling pretty good about that overall. I think we can establish a colony here in Mahravi. What about... Okay, that's a severe malaria zone, so we don't need to concern ourselves with that. Alright, opium addiction. Han people are experiencing severe effects of opium addiction. The use and abuse of the substance is spread throughout Guangzhou. The opium eater lies under the weight of incubus and nightmare. He lies there instead of all that he would fain perform, just as a man forcibly confined to his bed by the mortal languor of a relaxing disease, was compelled to witness injury or outrage offered to some object of his tenderest love. He curses the spells which chain him down from motion. He would lay down his life, if he might but get up and walk, but he is as powerless as an infant, and cannot even attempt to rise. Perhaps we could treat this as a medical matter. It's going to reduce standard of living for Han people by 1. Whistle Stop Tour. David Bruce, head of the Armed Forces, intends to travel across Niger by train to campaign for the Patriotic Party. All I intend to do is present myself to the people. I'm just a simple man trying to get our party's message out by the best means available. Campaigning by rail is a smart move that gets them 10% momentum, or it'd be a shame if the campaign trail kept suffering delays. Campaign train kept suffering delays. I'm going to go with the first one. I don't necessarily have a problem with the Patriot Party getting a lot of votes. Oh, wow, they've got a lot of votes. Oh, the Pelites consolidated. It appears. Well, that might have been a dumb mistake on my part, but it is what it is. I'm not too concerned about it. Russia sides with Spain in their war against the Cuban peasant revolt. There's our election. Let's see how it shakes out. I could pull them in, but that wouldn't really help, so we'll keep it where we're at. Alright, and we've fully occupied Benin at this time. So I think that's about good to go. There's socialism unlocked. That's going to turn our trade unions into socialists, I think. We'll see if we get another stall event. Our stall event is chance is high, but we have gotten a couple of negative events here. So if we get a setback due to legislative failure, we'll just we'll go straight back up to the the 40% we had or whatever. So I'm not at all concerned about that. We seem to have hit another little bit of a snag in terms of bureaucracy. This is odd. I had assumed that building more bureaucratic buildings would increase our... Maybe something fell apart. Discord within the armed forces. An influential faction within the armed forces have grown frustrated with their co-members' neutrality on the topic of technocracy. Themselves in favor of the law, they've now resolved to form a separate political faction, intent on passing it. How can you stand idly by and watch the world pass before your eyes? Have you no sense of honor or duty to your fellow man? I say nay to such lack of ambition, and I dare say I am not alone in this. With their support, the bill shall pass, or the Industrialists extend an open hand to these mavericks. I'm going to go with the second one. It's going to increase our enactment chance by 5% less, but it's also going to strengthen the Industrialists, which I do want. Benin we're going to have to keep plugging away at until they surrender. And that will be right about now. All right. We're just getting in towards the end of the episode. I'm just going to go until the middle of 72. So what's going to take for us to conquer Oyo? 17.5 infamy. We're at 19.6, so it's going to be a minute before we can do that. So we'll go ahead and do another return state diplomatic play in Eastern Africa. And we'll get the Army of the Cape of Good Hope to come and support that. All the action over there will probably be for next episode, but for the moment, we're good. We got a 10th British Army. That's going to go to the Household Division. That's just fine. Let's go ahead and normalize production methods for them. What's Benin got? Got some lung camps, got some fishing, got quite a few good agriculture buildings, so I'm pretty pleased about that overall. That will be excellent. Does not appear that anyone is interested in getting involved in my diplomatic play over here, so we'll continue this advance. I'm going to grab a few more government buildings and pop them up to the top of the queue here, and we'll put another set in the middle of where we currently are. Right in front of those railways, so they'll get started as soon as these ones are done. And then it'll be good to go. Cool. Alright, with that having been said, this is going to be the end of the episode. We conquered Benin, we got more of Uganda, and we're working towards technocracy. And we intervened over here and got ourselves an additional puppet over here in Indonesia. We just got vacuum canning, so I'm going to hit that. That's going to cost us a bunch of oil, but it's also going to produce a bunch more groceries, which is good. And that's the end of the episode. I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you all on the other side.